Hello everyone, very good morning and good evening. Let's start the session. So let me share my screen. Okay, yes. In the last session, so when we are discussing, so it got disconnected, right? Okay, sorry for that. So what we are discussing is related to our GCP implementation and then Azure implementation. So when we are coming to this, the cloud locations to our Snowflake tables. So what we have done, so this is the implementation, what we have done, the step-by-step process, right? So everything, it's first we need to create, we will take care about integration object, storage integration object, right? Once we have the storage integration object is available, so this is the storage integration object, right? So everything, if it is AWS or if it is Azure or if it is GCP also, the first thing is we need to connect integration in between AWS to Snowflake or Azure to Snowflake or GCP to Snowflake. This is the first step. If it is AWS and then we need to give location details like this, right? Location details, and then so our the location and then the tenant ID if it is Azure. If it is AWS, ARN details. But when it is coming to GCP, no need to give those so related details. Only you can give allowed location details when we are creating integration. Once the integration object is created for every account, if it is AWS, we will send it to AWS team to update the policies. If it is Azure, then we will send it to Azure team to update the details. So whatever the details we are going to get it from storage integration object. When you describe the storage integration object, if it is AWS, we will get Azure details, external ID details, and then user ARN details, right? If it is Azure, so Azure integration object, we are going to get, so here, so these are the consent URL, and then so multi-tenant app name. These details we will give it to them. And then if it is GCP, we are going to get the details related to it is yeah, the GCP related to so this particular thing. This is nothing but we will call it as a service account, right? So based on this, we will give it to the respective team to update the details from their side. So this is nothing but, so once we get the established connection is established in between the cloud location, so to our Snowflake, then we can able to create our file format. We can able to create a stages, whatever the stages it is available. Then we can list the stage to check, to cross check whether we have a access or not. After that, we can able to load the data to the table. This is the same process what we have done. So but here, so GCP and then Azure, so we didn't able to load it the data completely because of the free trial, the issue, right? This is the process what we have implemented, but the same approach for AWS and then Azure and then GCP. So if you observe here, these are the steps what we need to the perform, right? So here from here, the copy the service account. This one will be also taken care by your GCP team. We will create a once it is created the integration, then we will go into create a file format, staging, and copy command. The same process. Okay, so let's try. So everyone from your account, and then so let me know if you are facing any issues. Now that is a related topic related to, so when we are loading from our cloud location files to our Snowflake tables. Now, so today, so what we will discuss is when we are coming to data sharing. Here, right, data sharing, there is two concept. So everyone is getting confused in, so data sharing related to creating a user account, creating a user account and giving a access to users. It means, for example, I will tell you the requirement here. If you observe, we have some data here, right? In our tables, we have a data. Now, the requirement is, for example, let's assume, so healthcare data, any specific data related to healthcare or any specific table. When you have a data here, any table, when you have a data, some tables, yeah, let's take this table. We have a data here. Now, this particular data access, we need to give it to business user. The requirement is we wanted to give access to table tables to specific business users. Let's assume that when you wanted to give access to the specific business users, what we can do, we can create a user account here in our account. This is Snowflake, it is our user, right? This is our account details. If you go here to the account, you can create a new user here. We can create a new user, specific user, and then I can give that user access so to the specific business users. Then after that, I will give the grant permission to the specific database or specific schema or specific table. Then they can able to access, right? So that can be a solution. But why data sharing is coming into the picture here? When the business user wants access, then we create a user and then we can give the access to that specific tables. That is possible. But so why specifically data sharing? When let's assume here, when you are creating a specific user, for example, we are all together working like under one project. Let's assume some business users came, and so some new business users, they wanted to do some R&D, or let's assume they are from uh, separate region or separate account, but they also required our data. They want to do some R&D or they wanted to find out insights. They need to do some analysis. Let's assume in this way. In that case, what you have to do, if you create a users, for example, 5 users within our account, 5 users within account, what will happen? Whatever the users you are giving access here, you will assign a virtual warehouse, right? And whenever they are accessing in our account, whenever they are running, the computation charges, right? Here, the computation charges, whatever they are like utilizing, who is going to pay for them? If you observe in account, see this one, the usage, and then you can able to see the billing here. It is not enabled for the free trial account. Usage, if you observe, you can able to see how many credits they are utilizing. Each and every virtual warehouse, how many credits it is utilizing. When any user is utilizing the virtual warehouse, our account, then we are responsible for the billing, right? To avoid this, data sharing concept came into the picture to avoid the unnecessary billing for any other outside users if they want to access our data. For example, they are business user, they wanted to do some R&D other than our project requirement. We can able to give the access, but it should not come to the billing, it should not come to this specific particular project, right? In that case, so I will give you one simple example. Okay, then we can understand easily. For example, after the class, I am sharing the documents, right? The related documents. When I am sharing the documents, so for example, so one document I wanted to share to you guys. What I wanted to do when I am sharing, I will keep it in Drive, Google Drive, right? And then I'm going to give the access to your emails, right? When I have given the access to your emails, I have an option called edit option and then view option. Both the options I am having. When I give only the viewer option, that will be a reader account only. That will be reader account, right? It means you can able to read. That's it. I mean you can able to view it, but you cannot able to download. You cannot able to modify. If I give edit access, then only you will have a modify action, right? Now, one thing, why I wanted to keep that in a Google Drive and then I wanted to share it to you. I can send directly to your emails. Then once I have given, I don't have any control on the documentation, right? And if frequently, if I wanted to update, every day I wanted to do the same thing. Instead of that, what I can do here, I created a drive, and then whatever the documents on daily basis I am sharing, when I shared, immediately without any delay, it is refreshing to you. You can able to view that, you can able to access that, right? When you are accessing, when you are accessing the documents in a drive, am I responsible for your billing? What I have done, just I created a drive and I uploaded a document. And when you are accessing individually, when you are accessing, it's your email account and it's your internet, it's your laptop, right? It's your assets, it's your email, and it's your internet. Who is responsible for these billings? It's nowhere related to me, right? I'm not going to bother about this, isn't it? Right? The same concept here also. The data, when it is coming to data sharing, we are sharing the data to other users, or we can call it as a other accounts. When it is coming to sharing, we can consider this account to another account to another account. What will happen is, what we are going to do is, when you wanted to share, we will share to the other accounts. For example, here, let's assume I decided to share to one person. Okay, they don't have any email, existing email they don't have. What I can do, even though if I wanted to share, I can create email on behalf of them. I can create a username and then password, and I will share the documents in a drive, and I can give the credentials to them. This is your credentials. Whenever you want to access this data, you can access from your side by using this username and password, by using these credentials. When they are accessing, they are responsible for that, right? From where they are accessing, how they are using, how much time they are using, it is everything related to them, right? That same concept will come to data sharing implementation. If you create a user, then the billing will be responsible for from our side. If you create a data sharing account, then they are going to take care. Here we have two concepts. One is like a consumer, we will call it as a consumer, or reader. The thing is provider. Who is giving access to others? They are the providers. Who is like accepting? Sorry, they are consumers or readers. Consumers or readers. So one another thing is here, the same thing we will call it as a inbound or outbound. The consumer or readers will call it as a inbound, and provider outbound. Provider outbound, nothing but if you are receiving something from others, that is inbound. If you are sending to others, that is a outbound. So reader or provider. If you observe here, see this is a data sharing option here. What you are able to see here, this particular thing, the sharing. When you are with, if you log in with account admin, then only you can able to see this particular data sharing option. When you come to the data sharing option here, see this, we have two things. One is inbound another one is outbound. See this one, when it is coming to inbound, what you observed here, shared by, and then databases. If you see this one, account usage and then sample data. So sharing to from whom you have shared, and then this particular thing we will call it as a secure data sharing. Also, don't get confused. Data sharing or secure data sharing, same. And then who shared this to us? That is Snowflake account. When you observe, we have two separate databases for practice purpose, like Snowflake and then Snowflake sample data, right? These databases shared by this particular accounts, right? These are the sample, these are by default. So when you create any data share, so when you get it something from the marketplace also, that will come here. Okay, that we will discuss that how we are going to implement it. This one, if you observe, see this one, these two are like inbound because we received it. And then if you come to outbound, see this one, if I create, this one is previously I have done something, I will drop this one. Okay, see this one. So outbound, if you create something, if I create something here, then that will be outbound. You are nothing but if wanted to share something to others, then I can create a outbound. Here we can create data share. I can create data share implementation. Here these things we have received. And when it is coming to, so let me show you some examples here, how it looks like. This is, yeah, data sharing. So like account to another account. And when we share the data, whatever you are going to share, so that complete thing, the cloud services metadata will be shared. And if any updates happen in the account, immediately the reflection will happen in another account. Immediate the changes will be reflected here in another account. And whatever the virtual warehouse they are using, and then the storage implementation they are using, everything will be their responsible. And at the same time, very clumsy, the same example, yeah, you can able to see provider and then reader. See this one, provider who is providing, and then reader who is utilizing. The same one we will call it as a consumer also. They will have read only account. We used to call it as a read only account. Read only account. Now let's see how we are going to implement it. This thing, so this is one of the like the concept the advanced Compton Snowflake has given to share the data to other persons, and it will be in a sync every time whenever the data like, but don't get confused with this with a materialized view. That is a different concept here, but this is a different concept. Now when you coming to, for example, you wanted to share something to others, it's very simple. How we can able to do is, now this is, you have to come to the outbound and create, observe this, create, and what it is asking, create a secure share and database object to it. We need to create a secure share. We will give share for 8. Just I have given a name. And from which database you wanted to share something. I wanted to share from a class database. And one more thing here, when you are sharing, right? When you are implementing data sharing, only we can able to share sorry, only we can share tables and secure views only. Normal views, materialized, there is a 3 different concepts of views. We will discuss that going forward. Normal views, secure views, and materialized views is available. In that, only materialized view, sorry, secure views only we can able to share. There is a reason behind that. You will see that. Now let's come to that. Click on that. What I have done, I clicked on this, select tables or views, come to the database schema, and then you can select any one of the table. Let's select any one specific table here, I have selected this particular table, and let's click on apply. And see this, I have given selected the table, one table. If you want multiple tables you need to select, you can select it here. Okay, and let's click on create. When you are creating, see this one, so this is our warehouse. By default it's selected. And then, so just this is for the just to preview the data what you are sharing. Before sharing, so you need to just so look, so have a preview. If it looks good, then you can so go to the next. See this one, next, add a consumer. See this one. Now when it is coming to the data sharing, now let's assume so we don't have any reader account to share the data. Now the business user didn't given any reader account, we can able to create a one so on our own for them. What will happen is here, see this reader account, and then if I click on this is the previously which I have created, so I can create a reader account here. Let me create a new one. I will give the reader name as reader reader 8, reader underscore 8 I have given. Comment let it be user also, same thing I will give reader 8 underscore, I am not sure, reader 8 I have given. And then I'm giving the password, What we are trying to do is we are creating a new reader account. It means how we have a account here. The same way this particular option will create new account, that is nothing but a reader account. When I click on create, observe this, it is going to create a link for us. So with a URL for a reader account URL. When you don't have reader account from the business user, then only we will give it this. So when you have already the URL from the business user, they ask you to share the data to that specific reader account, then we can able to give it. Now observe this, it is telling that, so we will like create a account, let it create, and you can able to see the link once they created the account here. Now this is the URL. Observe this one. This is the URL. So this is URL account. So this one, this is a new account in the same region. And one more thing, when it is coming to the reader account, right? We can able to create this data sharing for within the region. Within region, which means so this one, the when we created our like a Snowflake account, let me click on done and select, see this one reader 8, this one which we have created, and then click on add. That's it, account added successfully, right? And then click OK. Now this is a reader account, and then share name is share underscore 8. So if you observe, this is our own account, original account. And in this particular account, which region we have created? Asia Pacific Singapore, right? AWS. Within the same region, if your business user also within the same region, then only we can able to create this reader account. Otherwise it is not possible. See this one, this also by default it's created with so AP Southeast one region, that is nothing but a Singapore region. The same region, the account also it has been created. Now this is our original account. Sorry, this is our original account. When you observe this here, this is our original account. And then here the Snowflake icon, if you observe, there is no other like information here. Let me open with the data shared account, reader account, how it looks like. Let's observe, and let's come to this. This is the account, right? And in a new tab, I will open this reader account. We'll give reader 8, rate, giving the password, and by default it came to later. Observe this. What you observed here, one thing, see this one. In the icon, you can able to see it is a reader, but our provider, we don't have that option. Here it is telling that it is a reader. So once you create a reader account, if you wanted to see those particular, like whatever we have shared here, see this, it's a, so new account, for example, I given this link to you. I given this link to you with a username and password. When you are trying to access, if you observe here, let me come to account admin. Now you are accessing this. When you are accessing, can you able to see anything here other than Snowflake? Whatever we created? No. So can you able to see any database? Let's come to the database. This is so only so one thing. Now, so you wanted to like access what we have shared. Come to the data share. If you wanted to access, come to the data share. Click on this share 8. This is one which we have created. And what it is telling, when I click on this share 8, if you wanted to try to access, see this one, create a database from secure share. If you wanted to access this, let's click on that, and then we will give database name db underscore share, and then access to account admin, and then create a database. Now this particular thing, share 8, can be accessed by db share, right? And if you come to worksheet, and then if you refresh, and then come to the role account admin, you can able to see the db share. You can able to see the table. You can able to see the db share, and you can able to see the table. But so when you try to access it, let's try to access it. If you try to access this one, sorry, let's come here and then preview data. See this one. If you wanted to see that, what we required so warehouse, right? We required a warehouse. Why? When you are accessing the billing, who is responsible for the billing here? Let's assume you are accessing this, so you are responsible for the billing for this, right? So let's create a warehouse here, so that we required a warehouse also, right? Warehouse, just I given the name, and then default let it be. Come to the worksheet, select the warehouse, and you can able to select the database. Yeah. Now when you try to access it here, how much time you are going to access the data, right? It doesn't matter. And so how much time you are so working with this particular virtual warehouse, the billing, who is the responsible for the billing? This account, reader 8 account, is the responsible for the billing. And at the same time, reader account, especially on reader database, you will have only read only option. If you try to modify something, if you try to delete something from this particular thing, it is not possible. For example, let's observe this. Delete from, I'm trying to delete from data from this particular table, emp, where employee ID equal to 1. See this, what is the, it is telling, observe this, operation is not supported in reader account. It's clearly telling that, so this particular thing is not supported in our reader account, right? So we cannot able to perform these options. Only what we can do, we can read, we cannot delete, we cannot add in a reader account. If you wanted to create a new database, it's up to you. For example, I given a email ID and then I created a email and password to you. I have given it to you. It's up to you. So you can able to create a new accounts and whatever it may be, you can able to do. But whatever the things I have shared, the shared drive, that you don't have any control. And for example, if I do some changes here, if I do some changes here in original database for this particular table, if I do some changes, immediately the changes will be reflected to in your account. For example, if I observe, see this, what is the table here? Employee, right? Employee table 10. How many we have? 10 rows. Come to the original account. Employee table, how many rows we have? 10 rows we have. Let me do some modification here. I will delete from table, employee table, where employee ID, sorry, 1. Now observe this, what happened? One row deleted, right? One has been deleted. Now totally how many we have here? 9, right? Immediately, if you check it in reader account, shared account, if you observe here, see this one. Let's check, see this, the reflection, right? So immediately the changes will be reflected here. Whatever the changes we have done, so the changes will be reflected here. And one more thing. So in like a certification, so they will ask this, if I like do uh, some changes to this particular reader account, can I able to like see the reflection for this particular whatever we have shared? Can we able to see that in a original account? You cannot able to do any changes here itself, right? Any options like so objective options they will go, can we able to see? We cannot able to see, we cannot able to do the changes. For example, when I am trying to do, it is not possible, right? It will not allow you. If you want, you can able to create a new database and you can able to do anything on that particular database, but on a shared one, you won't have any control. And one more question will be recently is on that. So this one, can I able to clone? Can I able to clone sorry table from a shared database? Shared database. Can I able to clone a table from shared database? It means this is a shared database, right? Cloning means what it means by the cloning? Indirectly, cloning a table means nothing but creating a another table, isn't it? Right? Now let's observe this. Create new get table, new underscore table, clone from where? Employee, where we are DB share. See this one, in a shared database, we are trying to clone a table, creating a new table. So with the name of on the like employee, with the name of new table from this employee table, we are trying to clone. If I try to do it, what it is going to tell, just observe. See this one, creating a table on shared database is not allowed. Any DDL operations like creating like and then inserting sorry any DDL or any DML operations on this particular thing, it is not possible other than read option. What you can do, only we can able to read the data, and everything is controlled by your provider account. If I drop this table here, it will not be available. If I update the data here in this particular table, the data will be updated here. And then how you will identify this is a reader account, only the reader account, by seeing the icon. This is only for a data like a sharing implementation, to share the data to the other business users to avoid unnecessary billing. For example, if you give it to other account users or other particular the project accounts, so when they are not related to our billing, then to avoid the storage, whatever they are going to do, let them do, but we can give the share, we can share a data to them. So in that particular situations, we can able to give this particular option, that is nothing but our data sharing implementation. This we will call it as a secure data sharing. Secure data sharing. To whom we have given a permission to access, only those guys only can able to read the data. Others, they cannot able to see the data, right? So the username and account who have given the permissions, right? And at the same time, one more thing you need to remember, when you created a data sharing implementation, see this one outbound, I have created a data share. This we have created for, right? So only the so accounts or to whom we have given the databases, and at the same time for this, if you observe, we have created the sharing for table, and we can able to do it for secure views only. We cannot able to like so give it for, see this one, only secure views and tables. We cannot able to do it for normal views and then materialized use. That is not possible. There is a restriction available in the data sharing. This is the concept of sharing implementation, guys. Let's come to the questions here. Business user is having already account, is it possible to do the schedule for the account with the yes, that is possible, Kiran. We can, if already they are having a account, right, then no need to create it. It's very simple, right? For example, when I am giving like a drive access to you, if your email ID is with me, and then if you are already having a Gmail account, I can able to like add that particular account to my drive. Then I will
How
give
to
the
how to control the privileges that time? Because their
mm,
account, they may be having their own like they can create their own tables.
you can create here also you can create your own database, you can create your own tables, but only
Okay.
control is on
Mm.
this data sharing itself. Here, when I am giving your email ID access on only the drive, the which drive I share it to you, on the drive I have a control, that's it, right?
Okay.
And remaining everything you can able to perform. You can create your own drive, you can create your own emails, and then you can send whatever it may be. It's as usual process, but only on this particular drive you don't have any control.
But on the reader account, you
Mm.
created one database and one data warehouse.
Correct. Mm.
That part
Mm.
providers need to do or the
No,
consumers.
no, 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 they will like who is like a consumers who is accessing.
Okay, let me
Yeah.
explain the question again. My point
Mm.
is, I'm a provider on the
Okay,
development side.
understand.
Um,
Mm.
I have a couple of tables I wanted to do data sharing to the business for their
Mm.
reporting needs.
Correct. Mm.
Okay, so 4 or 5 tables I have in my one of the database and in
Mm.
Snowflake. I want
Mm.
to do data sharing with the read privileges only. So
Okay.
tell me,
Mm.
they have their own account. How should I do?
Mm.
Can you explain? Uh,
Yeah, when they have their own account, so
mm,
what we can do is,
mm,
here we have given the permissions, right?
mm,
So once we created a data share,
mm.
here what we will get, so it will ask us, for example,
So here, do we need to create a new? We
no,
don't
no,
need
no,
to
no
create
need,
an account.
no need to create account. We need to create a share. We need to create a share, and then we
Okay.
need to add. That's it for for them. Just
Mm,
a minute. Let me edit. Let's assume, for example, selected one table and
mm,
edit share. Here I need to add them. That's it.
mm.
Here I have added one account, right? The same way I am going to add them. For example, let me show you.
You're creating a share here.
Share,
Mm,
then selecting a database,
mm.
selecting some tables,
Okay.
okay, and what we will do, create. This is for the preview, add consumers. Here what you will do is in the selection, so we are going to select that particular account. So when they
Oh,
are having a reader account, that's it.
so I
That
need
will
to
be
ask their account details and add that one here.
exactly, that's it.
Okay. How to add it here? The reader.
So yeah, here this like option is not available. So the
Mm,
admins will do it. So once you have the like a reader privileges and then permissions, right, in the
mm,
back end, they will configure it. Then you can able to see that their accounts here.
okay.
That's it.
Okay.
It's a same process. Yeah.
So we
Virtual
don't need
private
to.
Snowflake. Yes, Mohan.
Yeah. So we don't need to create any grants on a particular table, right? That we wanted to share with another account, reader account or something.
Not required. Not required.
Okay. So while creating the share itself, it creates the backend. Yeah.
Exactly. Mm, mm. Yes, Vipin. So when we are sharing the works with the virtual private Snowflake account, virtual private Snowflake account, I don't think this thing will work, Vipin. I have to cross check on this because when it is coming to the virtual private Snowflake, right? So it's a their own like a network, private network will be available, but it is not related to region. The mostly for secure, like a security purpose, they will create a private account. But whether we have a share option or not, I'm not sure about this. I will check, cross check once on this. Let me check once. Sorry. Here. I think we can able to do it. They don't have the direct access to the VPS accounts, but they need to do some additional setups. Auto fulfillment for virtual private. No. Sorry. This is related to edition. This is nowhere related. Yeah, we can able to, but they need some additional settings for that. Some private listing, they are telling that if the private listing is enabled, then only they can able to do. But that is a different one. I never like check that. Yeah.
Yeah. Dinesh.
Yes,
So
Mohan.
if we don't want the entire table to be shared with any other accounts,
Mm, mm. Full
do we have
table.
to just create? Yeah. Do we have
Mm,
to create only a view
mm.
and
Secure
then
view
provide
option.
that?
Exactly. Secure view is the option for that.
Okay. Okay.
When we are working with the
Can
secure view, I will explain that. Yeah.
okay. Um, Along with that, can we tokenize um, the columns as well? Which means like
Mm,
we have discussed the masking policies, right?
mm, mm.
Can we create masking policy for the reader accounts as well? Let's say
Reader
we have
account.
shared the same
Mm,
table with multiple reader accounts, and
okay.
we don't want the same. I mean, all the columns, like specific columns, only to share with the specific reader accounts. So that do we need to create any like multiple masking
Mhm.
policies for that reader accounts?
Mm. So once the masking policy is created for the same but when it is coming to reader account, right, all together we are just sharing a data to them, only read
Okay.
only access. But account privileges and then whatever the admin details, it will be for the others, right? But
Mhm.
whatever the access we are giving, only that particular thing only they can able to see. Other than that, they won't.
Uh, yeah, I understand.
It will be
Uh,
applicable directly. Yeah.
okay. Okay.
So, sorry, it's not clear to me. You mean to
Yeah.
say that if there's a masking policy on the source
Is applied.
and
It is applied on the source.
it is applied
I
on the
have
source,
added
and
something.
about what about the sharing? The sharing
Sharing
will
also it will be applicable.
be applicable, but that's based on the user profile, right?
Th-
The role. So
that is
the role will
that is
be
based on the role. Yes, account admin. By default, whatever the roles we are giving here, right? The same role they will have to implement it there as well.
but we are sharing the object as is, right? For example, we are sharing database or the table.
Mm,
So
mm,
whatever, so we are not applying the role to the reader. Reader is a kind of external entity at this point, right? So
mm,
so the masking property should be established at the reader point, isn't it?
Correct. That's what I'm thinking. But
Reader
I don't
point.
see any option where we have to choose this
Mm,
reader account IDs or something like that. We have to just provide the account
access.
inside. I mean, the roles which are created in the parent.
Okay.
I mean, the source account only, right?
Here we are providing, and then for this one. So this is the default, so which we have created here. By
Correct.
default, we have given the access to this.
Yeah, can we share any?
I will try it. Yeah, yeah. So where we have created that.
I remember developer dev role or
Developer
something.
role, right?
Yeah.
The same role. Role we need to be created here again separately.
Mhm.
Mm,
So before that, we have to share the database where or table where we created the
Correct,
policies,
correct.
right?
On the which table we created a policies. Employees info, right?
Nice.
Let me check.
So we can list the masking policies maybe.
Let me check that one. Yeah, same table, employees info table. Okay, let me try to share that employees info table. So whether
Okay.
we can able to share it or not, we can able to understand. This is the table, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's apply this. It's directly applying. It is not like giving any other like options. So we will have the complete access, I think. Let me refresh it here and then just check.
Okay. Yeah, it applied.
It directly applied. So this
Okay.
one because the control is from the base, right? For
Yeah.
example, when I am sharing, I have done some hidden some date files. Then you can able to also you cannot able to see that
Yeah. So what is the role that we have given permission?
account admin
Yeah.
only.
No,
Account
in the source account. I mean, to view the actual data.
to view the actual data. So we have given it to, don't remember exactly. Have to check on this. Where it may be here. Your account admin role can able to see the data.
Okay.
Employees info table. Because they are the owners. Employees info. Yeah, here we are using the account admin. See this here we can able to see that.
Yeah,
But
department
for
details.
every role, it is applying by default in the shared account. See, even though it is a account admin, but we cannot able to see that because it has been masked from the our like original account.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, when we are
Mm,
sharing the data, we have to be very cautious on policies.
yes.
We should not have any policies on that particular source, right? So
If
in
not,
that case, let's
mm,
say uh, the same table might be
mm,
using your internal teams with the policies on it, and the
okay.
same data we need to share it with our clients or something with that data, like clear data. So how can we in that case, how can we share the entire table?
Entire thing. Okay.
Yeah, our internal,
Mm,
some of the teams
okay.
shouldn't have.
Got it. In that case, what we can do is, so what, see, when internal teams, if they have a restriction, then if business user don't want like see the data, then that will be different case. If they wanted to see the data, then definitely, so we have to remove the policies and then we have to share, or we
Yeah,
can create a separate view and then we can able to share that.
view,
That is the only one option without any policies. Secure view.
secure view. Okay.
Yeah.
So in that case, can
They can able to see.
the
The policies is not applied on that specific secure view.
view? Okay. Yeah, we can discuss the same
Yes,
when
yes,
we
sure. We will see
discuss
that.
this.
Yeah. Whatever the things, right? We're getting the things like just to try to like implement it, try to explore it once. Okay. So maybe I will also not get a chance to like the work on every thing, right? So same way. So like whatever the questions is coming, just like try to explore it. We will like come to know the multiple things, how the things is happening in the back end.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any
Can
other
you just?
questions? Mm.
Oh yeah. Please go ahead. Like
Sure.
somebody has
Yeah,
a
yeah,
question.
yeah. Just organize to share to the taking a long time to share. Yeah, I informed Rakesh. So yesterday also we had a call with them. I informed clearly. So the students are facing some issues. Okay, I will today also I will
Actually,
follow up
what
with them.
happens, Dinesh, that even at 12, I don't see the recording. So maybe
Understand. Yeah, yeah. I told them clearly. Okay, so because of these holidays, he said that the employees are on leave. Okay, I will. He said that I will make sure that it will be uploaded immediately after the class. I will also follow up after this session.
Yeah. Dinesh, can you please open documentation? Snow regarding snow pipe. I see.
Mm.
I mean, there is one more way to, create this
Okay,
automated
so
ingestion with the REST APIs. Have you
mm-hmm,
like,
mm-hmm.
tried or come across implementing this REST API?
This snow pipe with REST API, this one
REST
you are talking
APIs,
about,
yeah,
right?
yeah, correct.
I never tried this one, Mohan. I have to check on this.
Yeah, when it comes to um, so the limitations, REST
Okay.
APIs doesn't have limitations on, with any clouds.
Oh,
So
okay.
with with
It means
I mean,
any cloud means?
yeah, can you just type like Snowpipe, the overview of Snowpipe or
Yeah,
something like that?
this one is REST API.
This is REST API, but you have to go
Okay,
to the
okay, sure.
Snowpipe. Yeah, introduction to Snowpipe. There. Scroll down a little bit.
Mm,
Scroll
mm.
down. Then scroll down. Scroll down. Yeah, here you see here Snowflake account host on Amazon. So you
Mm.
can implement everything like all the Amazon S3, Google Storage, Blob Storage. I mean all these ones. But when you have your account on GCP or Microsoft Azure, you have
Mm-hmm,
some limitations to create a automated
mm.
pipeline with the Snowpipe.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So when can you scroll down? If you go with the REST API endpoints, then you don't have any
This one.
limitations on it, these things. So it
Mm-hmm,
works
mm-hmm.
with anything, because REST APIs works with like HTTPS get put protocols, right?
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, when we have like limitations with the event based automated
I got it.
pipelines,
Mm-hmm.
this
Got it.
is the best way, right? Like go with the REST APIs. We don't have any REST limitations on it.
Mm, 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 mm.
So having
Okay, got it. But I mean, for example, from AWS, our account is the hosted on AWS. But when
Mhm.
you are trying to like give from GCP, from their side, REST API also, they have to accept, right? They should have some like acceptance criteria.
Yeah, the
Uh,
GCP has to enable the API.
okay,
Um,
okay.
things.
API like inputs they have to enable.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So uh, yeah, and if you go to the S3 bucket things, I think filters needs to be applied. Otherwise, like you'll be charged too much. Like you discussed for each
Yes,
thing
the
we
bucket.
have to CSV or JSON have
Yes,
to
yes,
create a
yes.
separate buckets or something, right?
Mm-hmm,
Without
mm-hmm.
filters or set. So if
Exactly.
we create bucket, and if you allow any object create events,
Any object. Okay.
yeah, you'll
Got
have,
it.
you'll get more charges, like because with any
Mm-hmm.
um, uh, like any directory, you can create like multiple directories, and then the file or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
to that,
Yes, I
I
understand.
see there should
Mm-hmm.
be
You
like
mean to say that
any,
within a like
if you apply filters, then um, you don't get much charges for this one
okay, got it.
searching.
Within the bucket level, you mean to say that within the bucket level you can able to perform.
Yes, that's what I see in the documentation itself.
Okay, okay, okay. Got it, got it. That may be done from
Cost
AWS.
optimization things. Yeah.
Mm, I will check that one. Okay. Because it's telling that it is suspended. Not sure.
Yeah, Snowflake recommends that you enable cloud event filtering for Snow. That's there in the same page,
Oh, okay.
in the same documentation. If you see,
Mm-hmm.
scroll up actually.
What you will call that?
In the Snowpipe overview. Yeah, little bit. Scroll up. Yeah. This one, this note. Scroll down a little bit. There is an important note on that. Yeah, scroll down. This one. Yeah.
This one?
Yeah. Cloud event filtering for Snowpipe to reduce cost, event noise, and latency. Yeah, again, it is AWS documentation. Yeah, how we can
Mm-hmm.
create events with the specific keys. Or something.
Oh, okay, got it. So maybe in this case, so no need to like create multiple buckets.
Multiple buckets.
In one bucket, you can able to perform the things,
Correct.
but it should be with the filtered.
Yeah,
Okay,
filter ones. Yes.
got it. The notifications, you mean to say, within one bucket, we can create a notification for one CSV file and then one
Yeah.
JSON file and then pipe delimited like that.
Okay.
We
Yep.
can able to, yeah, got it. Yeah, thank you. Okay, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So yeah, see you tomorrow, guys. Thank you. Nice discussion.